what kicked off the day? I was about to go to sleep and take a nap, and I still haven't been asleep this whole time, and now I'm drunk as fuck. Now, here's the message that kicked off the day. This was posted on Kiwi Farms and elsewhere, but it looks like, somebody in his circle, or at least close to him. And if you see this message, you see the promoter.
I got it pulled up.
Yeah, you see the promoter. It says, yeah, no doubt, that's not cool. I got to cut bait at this point, I think. We have 34 fighters to wrangle this week that have done things the proper way. I got to focus on that. Tonka says, you do have shit to handle, and he's just bullshitting. I'm sorry this went that way, but it's just crazy people. Now, you notice that is a very selective portion of the conversation, and I already saw how they were going to try to spin it, that it was Andy's fault. So I said, I remembered something that Andy had told me, and Tara LaRosa had told me. They said Tim Loy is very easy to get a hold of. He's very responsive on Facebook. He pretty much responds to anybody that sends him a message. And I was in a Discord call, which I don't usually go into, but I was trying to find out what the deal of this was. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to fucking message him myself. And I did. And then he sent me this. And this pretty much, I won't take full responsibility, but it helped kick off the day. I mean, you can see how many, retweets and likes and shit it has.
Where are you putting it?
It's in the
chat.
It's in the chat. Now he sent me this. Now there was a couple things before this, but it just says what he says there in less official terms. Both men agreed to have proper medicals in. He replaced that later. By last week, an extension was granted to both parties. However, we have still yet to receive proper medicals from Tonka that match the name on his contract. So we have no option but to cancel the bout, as we cannot allow competitors to fight without the proper blood work and order. Now, that is a very clear statement. Even though in his audio with Andy, he doesn't officially blame Tonka, this is a statement that puts the blame on Tonka. Now, you don't have to say, I blame you, Tonka. I mean, you read that statement and you see whose fault it is, right? I mean,
like he said in the conversation, he said, Andy was not at fault in the cancellation.
Well, and he was trying to be diplomatic in the conversation, just not to get drawn into this entire Spurgfest thing, which I understand. But what he says in this statement is it's Tonka's fault. Am I incorrect, Nick? You read it the same way, right?
Oh, yeah. He says it's Tonka's fault. And most importantly, he says the official stance of the promotion.
Yes.
It's not even his words there. This is their official stance.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at with Tonka, is that, maybe people have some other reason they want to say, but all you can go off of is what they actually say. No. This is the reason it's canceled. You can come up with a bunch of hypothetical reasons they might have wanted to cancel it, but the real reason is this, because that's the only thing we can trust.
And by the way, I talked about this at the very top of the show. I don't know if you've seen this. AiU, I trolled him on Twitter. I was like, oh, look at your boy. He's a coward. And it seemed to really upset him. I don't know why. I was just fucking around with him because of all the shit he had said, slamming Andy, promoting Tonka, which is his right. But of course I'm going to fuck with him. And he said, well, Ralph, why aren't you pushing this guy? I was going to say bullying, but he said, why aren't you pushing this guy to save the fight? You seem to be taking delight in Tonka, in the fight being canceled and Andy being able to be declared a winner because of that. And I said, well, look, Devin, you can message him yourself. Like, he will answer you and you can talk to him. And I don't know, have you seen this chain of messages between him and the promoter?
Yeah, this was great.
This is the one, this really hung Tonka more than anything that I kind of just asked basic, a couple basic questions and then that was it. But if you read this chain, and I've highlighted this, I read most of this at the beginning of the show. I'm trying to look for the part, this is absurd. We can't add a fight for a new name. Let me see. Where is the quote that
how much of this poor guy's time is wasted?
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted to get off with him, because I did like 3 or 4 messages, and I just said, look, I'm sorry, I'm taking up your time. I appreciate, like, this is not his normal thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, it's a name he applied to change only 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Applied, not officially changed. He signed this 6 weeks ago, and then the comment before that, the name he signed his bout, the fight agreement does not exist. It is certainly far from random. And then again, I'll reread this part. Devin says it's a fake name or a name that he has legally changed, and the promoter, and again, he's not the owner, he's like the matchmaker of the promotion. He says it's a name he applied to change only 3 days ago. Applied, not officially changed. He signed this, meaning that name, 6 weeks ago. To me, that is just, that's it. Like that's all on Tonka at that point. And I think Devin, that was not his intention, but he actually, hung Tonka even more with his conversation here. I don't know if you saw that beforehand. I'm assuming that you probably did.
I read that and I thought,
look bad.
For being his buddy, this isn't helping.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. And by the way, I love how Nick just act like, well, yeah, I don't really know much of what's going on. And actually, the whole time he knows exactly everything that's going on, which was great. You know what I'm talking about? Nick's like, I don't know. And he just kept reeling him in. I was like, oh my god,
drunk on this water.
I'm so wasted right now.
Computer even on?
Yes. I don't know how to pull this up. Let me see if I can figure it out. I was like,
I walked around. I went to court today with my pants on backwards.
And to be fair, all of the gin and whiskey that was in the glass cup was real.
Yeah,
that was real.
It did catch up to you in the end. But go ahead.
Why did you do this to Tonka? I just got sent this GIF of you.
Hold on.
I don't know why you did this to him.
By the way, I think Zidane was going to say something. Go ahead, sir.
So he didn't show you that one text previous to the one that he actually did show you. I think I know why. He was talking to Tim about how somebody might do a bomb threat. And I think that was a text that was preceding the one that he showed you, where he's going in saying somebody might call it a bomb threat or do something like this. He was the one who was trying to see if he could get them to shut down the fight or however by scaring them into that. And that's why he didn't show it to you. And that's why Tim was worried because, hey, a bomb threat, you have to shut the entire event down. You can't have it. You have 35 other fighters. What are you going to do? And that's why he was worried about it.
Yeah, and that's very possible. That's why I wanted him to send me, not because of the bomb threat specifically, but what's going on in that thing? Because clearly he's responding to something Tonka had sent him, right? He's saying, Jeebus, again, Tim, buddy, like you don't have to swear or whatever, but Jeebus is a weird one. He says, Jeebus, let me look into this. Of course, Tonka had just sent him something and not Andy had sent him something. And then he's responding to Tonka. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It was a weird continuity thing. And this is the questioning. This is the reason I was doing the questioning in the way that I was doing it is simply let someone hang themselves on their own words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or liberate themselves,
Sure.
right? Let them Underground Railroad all the way out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gave him the chance, and you can either sink or swim. And I would say that he sank completely.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
so my bet is on the table. Who else wants to take a piece of the action?
Yeah, Coach, you know what? I'll double that to not even double it. I'll raise your bet to $300 that he doesn't delete his channels within 10 days.
I never bet that kind of money. And
you
remember,
just
the
want to
money,
keep it.
the money I win.
Coach, it's clear that he's not going to delete his channel, so I just want to clean
You know
it
what's
out.
funny? I had a conversation with him on his show about Mundane Matt, and Tonka gave me a soliloquy on how death on the internet happens, that you don't delete your channel, you just kind of stop doing it, or you slow down, you stop doing it and go away. So somebody go clip that, because if what you think is happening is going to happen, he's said it. He's predicted it already.
Yeah, I said
Probably
that.
already.
Yeah,
deleted
I think it would be more of a slowdown, and then all of a sudden, there are no more
It's
shows.
already happening.
He's not going to delete everything. I just think what he said tonight, I just don't think he'll delete everything. I mean, he should. I've said that publicly. I mean, at this point, delete everything. Like, there's sometimes you get blown out so badly, and there's really no recourse, at least anytime soon, for him to come back for this. Why not just delete everything? Maybe, a year or two down the line, he could come back and just do wrestling streams or something like that. I don't think anybody would care about that if he came back and he's just talking about wrestling or whatever. But as far as, the talk show format, which I don't even know that you could call the Kumite a talk show, but I don't think there's any future.
The drone
in that
show. That's what it is.
it's really bad. Like, I don't know.
And by the way, a question I had, I was been curious. How old is Vamp?
I don't know. She's probably I think she's about my age. I'm 33. I think she's probably a couple years younger. I want to say Tonka's like, he's around my age too. I want to say Andy's 30 or 31.
Yeah,
we're all about the same age. I think Tonka might be about the same age too. That's my understanding, at least.
Okay, now this issue of him not being able to get it up, that Vamp told
That's
people
pretty
publicly.
tough.
How? Okay, I didn't hear that. Where the fuck did that come out? Was there audio of her saying this?
Cog talked about it on his stream.
I mean, if there was audio, we would play it. Yeah,
he talked about it on his stream. He actually messaged me about it earlier. I don't know if I should leak his source, but apparently it was a close friend of Vamp's. And when he was visiting them in the U.S., he saw their conversation, and Vamp had basically through this person opened up to this other person about how Tonka had erectile dysfunction and how the last time she visited him, she was very upset with the visit because Tonka couldn't get hard the entire time she was there.
By the way, my wife is really big on what in the fuck. Like, he actually slams Vamp in private all the time.
Yeah, he talks shit about her. Yeah, all the time.
And we pulled a screen up of that earlier, and it's the mindset of why would you keep defending this guy? And if anything, you should just disassociate, at least not, put your neck out on the line for him. I don't really see the benefit.
I mean, she literally faked that her grandmother had a stroke. So
back last year when he was rolling along, you might be able to understand it. But at this point, why don't you just cut bait? I don't know.
She literally pretended that her grandmother had a stroke when her grandmother was in the hospital for the flu. And used sympathy and laughed about it on air so that Tonka didn't look like a pussy because he said, fucking Andy, come to Jacksonville and I'll knock you out. And he's like, I'll buy a ticket right now. Then all of a sudden Tonka was gone for 2 days and fucking Vamp's on there like Elmo.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to actually, and I know this is a show.
Get Vamp on.
No, she won't come on. I mean, I would have her on.
Yeah.
No, she won't. She has me blocked on Twitter, and my Discord got deleted because they reported it.
It's also 5 a.m, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Coach, what are you on right now? I think that's my next question. How are you so hype right now? It's fucking 5:30 a.m.
He took a nap in the middle of the stream. He fell asleep.
You actually did take a nap during a part of the stream, didn't you?
This motherfucker fell asleep.
This motherfucker slept for like an hour and a half. You did.
He woke up.
Admit it. Before we go off the air, admit it. You took a nap.
Mouthy Mama said that Cog said that when he was visiting Olenska, she messaged Olenska about Tonka's erectile dysfunction.
Hang on. I gotta
took a nap.
Clear the air about this. I gotta clear the air.
You took a nap.
Nick, my brother fucker, the master of the evening. It got a little boring, so I just
you know what? I'll admit we were watching it, and by the way, I already know Nick. He's like a cool dude. I knew he wasn't gonna let him off easy, but we were watching it early, and we're just like, oh God, what is he doing? Please go in on him talking about the fight. Why is he doing this now? Of course, it all was revealed, and I already knew what was happening. But when you're watching it live, you're just like, oh, what the fuck? Go at him. What's happening? And
it was like, remember the Kavanaugh hearing, the woman prosecutor who was talking to Christina Blasey Ford. What was her name? The woman with the glasses who looked like...
we know who
you're
talking about. That was Blasey Ford. I don't remember the prosecutor's name, but yeah, that was kind of similar.
She was like slow, and we were like, come on, just eat her up, just kill her, and she was like slow and steady and boring, right? And then after a while, it started.
Well, it starts to ramp up, and you want to make the person comfortable. And honestly, Nick was being fair. He's like, okay, well, let's talk, let's have a chat. This is how normal people do. Let's have a chat. And he got blown the fuck out. All right, look, we could talk. We could literally talk about this all night. I want to ask Nick, what's up, buddy? What bourbon, what scotch do you want me to bring to Knoxville? Because I owe you a bottle after tonight. Habiki's hard to find, dude. I saw what is it, Toki, in the liquor store today, but Habiki, I only saw that once.
I know it's very hard.
And I grabbed it, but what do you want? Just go ahead and tell me and make it something that I can find, because
I will say if you want to pick up what I would ask for, my go-to would be Lagavulin 16. But Diego or whatever the promoter of the liquor is, pissed me off by saying that my show promoted unreasonable drinking habits. So I would say a Balmore 15 Darkest or Extra Dark, whichever one it is.
That's what you would like.
That is a beautiful bottle of whiskey, and I'd be happy to share it with you. But I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything.
Now, the Balmore 15, that is actually what I bought my wife for her, not Christmas, but it was before Christmas. So her birthday's in the same month. I actually bought her the Balmore 15. That is exactly what I bought her. And I'll see if I can get that. So the Bulmore 15, Lagavulin 16. What was the other one?
Those are the two I mentioned.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do?
I'll get one of those for sure.
I'll tell you what I'm bringing if I can get there. I fly into Nashville first, and in Nashville there's a barbecue restaurant called the Peg Leg Porker, and they have a bourbon.
I've heard about this. This is one of the best. Yeah, people have told me about this. So like, you need to go to Nashville. Now, I'm from Memphis originally, and so I'm kind of anti-Nashville. But they're just like, Ralph, put it to the side. They make their own bourbon there, and it's like a cult classic, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab at least a couple bottles,
please,
and bring some with me. So that will be my goal.
Please grab me one if you can, and I will reimburse. And I will also bring you one of these bottles too.
Sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. I can't wait.
Very good. It'll be very soon. I'm sad that there's no fight going to happen, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably still have a good run here in Knoxville. Dick, now
somebody will fight.
Somebody's gonna fight somehow. Not me, though.
I don't care if me and Ralph have to leg wrestle, but somebody's getting in a fucking fight at this show.
Can we put Dick in a headdress and a wheelchair and get him in the ring with Andy?
Yes.
Dick, are you down? Now, obviously, it was me and Coach Red Pill coming down to the cage, but there is one spot open. He can bring 3 people down to the cage. If you're open to that.
Well, we're gonna have a battle royale down there.
Well, I don't know if they'll.
No, it's a bunch of gay stuff.
I don't know if they'll let us. I don't know if they'll let us fight, but they'll let us.
Gay stuff.
Maybe. I don't know if they'll let homosexual activity.
We're gonna chicken fight. But we're gonna find a Motel 6 and get on each other's shoulders.
But me and Andy were working on the skit promo, whatever you want to call it, for the cage. And if you want to be a part of that, I think
absolutely.
It would be good. And we want it to be something good that can be replayed on this program because we love cheap content. At least 50 times on this program. So yeah. All right, we'll figure something out. By the way, renting a place is a lot harder than it sounded at first, isn't it?
Diego's been looking all week, and either everything's booked because it's so close. Everything's booked, or it's like these venues are just totally unsuitable for the amount of men we're gonna pack into.
Yeah, and somebody messaged me on Twitter, and she's originally from Knoxville, and she said, "Well, if you have about 25 people coming, this place could probably host you." And I'm thinking, I mean, it was very nice of her to send that, but
yeah,
I think it's probably going to be more like 100, 200.
Yeah, it's tough. There's one place that hasn't got back to us, but otherwise it's.
We might just have to pick a bar and just rate it. Is that what you? Yeah, that's kind of my mindset at this point too. But I will be there Thursday afternoon, and we're gonna paint the town red. So. Thank you, gentlemen. Nick Rekieta, all-time legend status today. You entered that echelon. Dick Masterson was already in the all-time legend status. So, thank you, sir. Both of you, gentlemen.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Honestly, it was my pleasure. But thank you. But yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Dick, you want to say anything before you go?
Yeah, maybe next time a couple of dummies get into an internet fight, we could hire them like a $2 an hour Filipino virtual assistant somewhere to keep track of their fucking names and documents so that everyone doesn't waste a bunch of money on time flying across the country to see nothing. Maybe for next time. Next time.
I would support that. Thank both of you for coming on, and I will see you soon.
You're the man, Nick.
See you guys. See you guys in
Nashville.
Nick
the new Nick the Knife. Go ahead.
I gotta go find some ice cream. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, later, guys. Did somebody just drop out? Who else was in this call, man?
RoboGator left.
Oh, RoboGator left. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Zoom, I'll give it to you first, sir. You were an integral part of this program as well, and I thank you for coming on.
I thank you for having me on. I'm looking forward to getting on Andy's show tomorrow and calling this fight commissioner. I think that
so Mom, maybe there's still a chance.
Deserves this, man.
Yeah,
I want to save this.
Maybe there's a chance it can still happen. And
if not, I sent you an invite to the GoFundMe team thing. We can push this and we can get this funded. We can rent an RV and do like the Ace Poseidon thing and ride around Tonka's town and fuck with them all week.